Urologist, if you don't masturbate in old age, this will happen to you. Advice for elderly. A truth too important to ignore. Imagine waking up one morning, looking in the mirror, and feeling like a stranger in your own skin. The spark you once had, the confidence, the clarity, the you, feels like it's slipping away. Maybe you've chalked it up to just getting older, but what if I told you there's a simple, natural act your body craves that could change everything? A secret weapon that's been overlooked, dismissed, or even shamed, yet holds the key to your health, your mind, and your sense of self as you age. What if the secret to staying sharp, strong, and vibrant after 65 lies in a simple act you've been told to forget? My name is Dr. Mohit Kara, a urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men and women navigate the changes of aging. Today, I'm here to share a truth that's rarely discussed in doctors' offices, but is vital for anyone over 65. Self-intimacy, yes, masturbation, is not just a youthful indulgence. It's a cornerstone of your well-being. It's time to break the silence, shed the stigma, and embrace a practice that can transform your golden years. Your body is begging for attention. Ignore it, and you could lose more than just your youth. If you're ready to rediscover your vitality, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and ring the bell so you never miss life-changing insights tailored for you. Let's dive into a journey that could redefine how you live, feel, and thrive in your later years. Are you with me? Drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to learn, or a 0 if you're skeptical. I'm here to change your mind. One natural habit could protect your prostate, boost your brain, and bring back the you you've been missing. Ready to discover it? Part 1. The prostate puzzle. Why your body needs release. Picture this. A vibrant man in his early 70s, let's call him John, sits across from me in my office. He's fit, sharp, and proud of the life he's built. But lately, he's been waking up 4 or 5 times a night to use the bathroom. His stream is weak, his bladder feels heavy, and he's starting to dread long car rides. "Doc," he says, his voice tinged with frustration, "I thought I was done with this part of life. Isn't it normal to slow down?" John's story is one I've heard countless times in my 3 decades as a urologist. And here's the truth he didn't know. Regular ejaculation, even through self-intimacy, is like a workout for your prostate. Without it, your body pays a price. They don't tell you this at the doctor's office, but stopping this one thing could be silently stealing your health. The science of stagnation. Your prostate isn't just a bystander in your body. It's a dynamic organ that produces fluid, expands, and contracts. When you stop stimulating it, the fluid inside can stagnate, like water pooling in a forgotten corner. This creates a breeding ground for inflammation, swelling, and discomfort. Over time, it can lead to conditions like benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, which affects nearly half of men over 60, or worse, increase your risk of prostate cancer. A landmark study from Harvard found that men who ejaculate 21 times or more per month are significantly less likely to develop prostate cancer. That's not a coincidence, it's biology at work. At 65 and beyond, reclaiming your body isn't just about pleasure, it's about power, freedom, and living fully alive. A patient's turnaround. Let me tell you about John's transformation. After we discussed the role of self-intimacy, he was skeptical but willing to try. 6 months later, he walked into my office with a spring in his step. "Doc, I'm sleeping through the night again," he said, grinning. "I didn't realize how much my body needed this." By reintroducing regular self-stimulation, John wasn't just relieving his prostate. He was reclaiming his freedom, his confidence, and his ability to live life on his terms. Why it matters for you. If you're over 65, you might be noticing subtle signs, a weaker stream, a nagging sense of fullness, or the constant need to plan your day around bathroom breaks. These aren't just inconveniences, they're your body's way of saying, "Pay attention to me." Self-intimacy isn't about chasing youth. It's about giving your prostate the care it needs to keep you independent, active, and in control. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly at ease with your body? If it's been a while, maybe it's time to listen to what it's asking for. Let's keep going, because the benefits don't stop at your prostate. Part 2. A sharper mind, a clearer you. Now, let's talk about your brain. Imagine walking into a room and forgetting why you're there. Or losing your train of thought mid-conversation, the words slipping away like sand through your fingers. For many, These moments spark fear. Is this just aging, or is something wrong? I met a patient, Sarah, a retired librarian in her late 60s, who came to me with a quiet confession. Dr. Kara, I don't feel like myself anymore. I used to be so sharp, but now I'm foggy, like I'm losing pieces of who I am. Sarah's story isn't unique. As we age, cognitive changes are natural, but there's a hidden ally in keeping your mind sharp: self-intimacy. Here's why. The brain's chemical symphony. When you engage in self-pleasure, your brain lights up with a cascade of neurochemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, that do more than make you feel good. They strengthen neural connections, boost blood flow, and reduce cortisol, the stress hormone that erodes brain cells. Without this natural stimulation, your brain misses out on a vital rhythm, leaving you vulnerable to cognitive fog, forgetfulness, and even early signs of decline. A 2016 study from the University of Sydney found that older adults who maintained regular sexual activity, solo or partnered, showed better memory and cognitive performance than those who didn't. This isn't about chasing pleasure. It's about protecting the very essence of who you are. Sarah's awakening. Sarah was hesitant when I suggested self-intimacy as part of her wellness routine. I thought that part of my life was over, she admitted. But with gentle encouragement, she began exploring this practice again, starting small, with curiosity rather than expectation. 3 months later, she returned with a spark in her eyes. I'm remembering names again, she said. I'm reading faster, laughing more. I feel like me again. Your brain, your power. If you're over 65, you might notice small lapses, forgetting a friend's name, misplacing your keys, or struggling to focus during your favorite hobby. These moments don't have to define you. Self-intimacy is like a daily workout for your brain, keeping it sharp, resilient, and ready to tackle the crossword puzzle or the next chapter of your life. Try this. Next time you feel that mental fog creeping in, ask yourself, when was the last time I connected with my body? The answer might surprise you. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're starting to see the connection between your body and your mind. Let's move on to something even deeper, your emotions. Part 3. The heart of the matter, fighting depression. Let me tell you about Robert, a widower in his early 70s who walked into my office looking like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. Dr. Kara, he said, his voice barely above a whisper, I don't feel anything anymore. Not joy, not sadness, just nothing. He thought it was just part of growing older, but I knew there was more to his story. And it's a story I've seen unfold time and again. When you stop connecting with your body, your emotions can fade into a gray haze. The emotional lifeline. Self-intimacy isn't just a physical act, it's an emotional release. During climax, your brain releases oxytocin and endorphins, nature's antidepressants, which lift your mood and combat stress. Without this release, especially in your later years when loneliness or grief may already be knocking, you risk slipping into a quiet, creeping depression. It's not always loud sadness. Sometimes it's a dullness, a disconnection, a sense that life has lost its color. A 2018 study in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who maintained sexual activity reported lower rates of depression and higher life satisfaction. This isn't about romance or youth. It's about giving your heart and soul a reason to keep beating. Robert's rediscovery. Robert had stopped all forms of intimacy after losing his wife. I thought it was disrespectful, he said. But as we talked, he realized his emotional numbness was starving him of joy. With my guidance, he began to reconnect with his body, not for passion, but for survival. Months later, he told me, I laughed at a joke the other day, really laughed. I didn't know I could still do that. Reclaiming your joy. If you're over 65, you might recognize that grayness Robert described, a loss of interest in hobbies, a reluctance to socialize, or a sense that you're just going through the motions. Self-intimacy can be your lifeline, a way to remind your heart that it's still capable of feeling. It's not about indulgence, it's about survival, about saying, I'm still here, and I deserve to feel alive. Reflect on this. When was the last time you felt a moment of pure joy? If it's been too long, maybe it's time to give your body and your heart a chance to reconnect. Let's keep exploring, because this journey is about more than your emotions, it's about your rest. Part 4. The sleep you've been missing. Close your eyes and imagine a night of deep, uninterrupted sleep, the kind that leaves you waking up refreshed, ready to seize the day. Now imagine the opposite. tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., your mind racing, your body restless. For too many people over 65, this is the nightly reality. I met a patient, Margaret, who came to me exhausted. "I can't sleep, Dr. Kara," she said. "I'm up half the night, and I don't know why." The answer, surprisingly, lay in a part of her life she'd long abandoned: self-intimacy. The sleep connection. Orgasm is nature's perfect sleep aid. It triggers a flood of oxytocin, prolactin, and endorphins, calming your nervous system and lowering cortisol. Your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, and your body slips into the ideal state for restorative sleep. Without this natural rhythm, your sleep can fracture, leaving you tired, irritable, and vulnerable to a host of health issues. A 2019 study in sleep medicine found that older adults who engaged in regular sexual activity, including solo, reported better sleep quality and fewer insomnia symptoms. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it weakens your immune system, clouds your mind, and raises your risk of heart disease. Margaret's breakthrough. Margaret was embarrassed to discuss her intimate life, but she trusted me enough to listen. "I haven't done that in years," she admitted. "I thought it was over for me." With encouragement, she began to explore self-intimacy as a way to relax her body. Weeks later, she called me, beaming. "I'm sleeping like a baby again," she said. "I didn't realize how much my body needed that release." Your path to rest. If you're lying awake at night, counting the hours until morning, ask yourself, when was the last time my body truly let go? Self-intimacy isn't a luxury. It's a tool to reclaim the deep, healing sleep your body craves. Try it tonight and see if you wake up feeling like a new person. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to prioritize your rest. Let's move to the physical foundation of your body next. Part 5, the strength beneath you, your pelvic floor. Meet Tom, a retired firefighter in his 70s, a man who once carried the weight of heroism on his shoulders. But when he came to me, he was struggling with something new, a slight leak when he coughed, discomfort in his hips, and a nagging sense that his body was betraying him. "I feel like my foundation is crumbling," he told me. The culprit? A weakened pelvic floor, neglected for years, and the solution was closer than he thought. The power of your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is the unsung hero of your body, a group of muscles that support your bladder, bowel, and sexual organs. During arousal and orgasm, these muscles contract rhythmically, keeping them strong and improving blood flow. Without this natural workout, they can atrophy, leading to urinary leakage, constipation, or even pain when standing. A 2020 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that regular sexual stimulation, including self-intimacy, significantly improves pelvic floor strength in older adults, reducing incontinence and improving quality of life. This isn't about vanity, it's about dignity. Tom's comeback. Tom was reluctant at first, but I explained that self-intimacy was like physical therapy for his pelvic floor. He started small, integrating it into his routine. Months later, he reported fewer leaks, less discomfort, and a renewed sense of strength. "I feel like I'm in charge of my body again," he said. Your body, your strength. If you're over 65, you might notice small signs: leaking when you laugh, discomfort during long walks, or a loss of confidence in your body's reliability. These are signals, not sentences. Self-intimacy is a natural, accessible way to strengthen your pelvic floor, improve circulation, and keep your body resilient. Think about it. What would it mean to move through your day with confidence, knowing your body is strong and capable? Let's explore one final piece of the puzzle, your immune system. Part 6, your body shield, boosting immunity. Last winter, I met David, a vibrant 68-year-old who'd always prided himself on his resilience. But lately, he was getting sick more often, colds that lingered, infections that dragged on. "I used to bounce back in a day," he said, frustration in his voice. "Now, it's like my body's giving up." When I asked about his intimate life, he laughed nervously. "That's been retired for years, document." But what David didn't know was that self-intimacy is a secret weapon for your immune system. The immune boost. During arousal and orgasm, your body produces a surge of immune-enhancing agents like immunoglobulin A, IgA, which fights off viruses and bacteria. Endorphins reduce inflammation, and improved circulation supports healing. A 2017 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that regular sexual activity boosts immune function in older adults, reducing the frequency and severity of illnesses. David's revival. David was skeptical but open to trying. He began incorporating self-intimacy into his routine, not for pleasure, but for health. Months later, he reported fewer colds and more energy. "I feel like my body's fighting for me again," he said, his eyes bright with renewed hope. Your defense, your choice. If you're over 65, you might notice you're catching every bug that goes around or recovering more slowly than you used to. Self-intimacy is a natural, cost-free way to give your immune system the boost it needs to keep you strong. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to face the winter with a body that's ready to fight? Drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to take charge of your health. There's one final piece we need to explore: your sense of self. Part 7. Coming home to yourself, reclaiming your identity. Let me share one last story. Elizabeth, a retired school principal in her late 70s, sat in my office with a heaviness in her posture. "I don't feel like I live in this body anymore," she said softly. "I'm just here." Her words struck a chord, because I've heard them from so many others, men and women who've lost touch with the vibrant person they used to be. The root of Elizabeth's disconnection? She'd stopped touching her body, stopped seeing it as hers. The power of self-touch. Self-intimacy isn't just about physical release, it's about presence. When you touch your body with care, you remind yourself that you're still here, still worthy, still alive. Without this connection, you risk drifting away from your own identity, feeling like a passenger in a body you no longer recognize. A 2019 study in Psychology of Aging found that older adults who maintained physical intimacy reported higher self-esteem and a stronger sense of identity. Elizabeth's reawakening. Elizabeth was hesitant, but I encouraged her to start small, to approach self-intimacy with kindness rather than expectation. Months later, she returned with a smile. "I feel like I'm home again," she said. "I'm not just surviving, I'm living." Your body, your home. If you're over 65, you might feel that quiet distance, a reluctance to look in the mirror, a sense that your body is no longer you. Self-intimacy is a way to come home, to reclaim your body as a source of strength, joy, and identity. It's not about youth, it's about honoring the life still pulsing within you. Reflect on this. What would it mean to feel at home in your body again? To look in the mirror and see you? Let's wrap this up with a call to action. Final thoughts: reclaim your life, starting today. As I look back on my 30 years as a urologist, I'm struck by the quiet losses my patients carry, losses that don't show up on scans or tests, but in the dimming of their eyes, the heaviness of their steps. A man who avoids mirrors because he no longer recognizes himself. A woman who hasn't felt joy in years. These aren't just signs of aging, they're signs of disconnection, of a body and soul crying out for attention. But here's the truth: you have the power to change that. Self-intimacy isn't a luxury or a taboo. It's a declaration that you're still here, still worthy, still alive. It protects your prostate, sharpens your mind, lifts your mood, restores your sleep, strengthens your body, boosts your immunity, and reminds you who you are. It's not about chasing youth. It's about embracing the life you have now with all its wisdom and beauty. So, if you've forgotten this part of yourself, I invite you to start again. Start small, with curiosity, with kindness. Touch your body, not with shame, but with gratitude for all it's carried you through. Reclaim your health, your clarity, your joy. Reclaim you. Take action. If this message resonates, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're ready to take charge of your golden years. Your body is listening. Will you answer its call?